Yeah.
And I want to say, I know UConn got it to 1, I think in the third, but Notre Dame never trailed from.
That's good.
If they did, it was. I don't think they ever trailed.
That's a good feeling when you catch your chance and you
Yes.
never trail. That's pretty good. Fire on ice last night, huh? With he gave us an under in one game, and Colucci went 3 for 3.
Yes.
Had to go to some overtimes, but it got them all.
Yeah. The Golden Knights went to overtime.
Well, they were trailing late
Uh
to get it
huh.
to overtime, and they got home.
He had the Capitals. They went 2-1. And then he had Vancouver, which was kind of a gate to wire win at plus $1.50.
Yeah, they were up 3-0
So
going to third period. So
yeah,
nice.
yeah. 3-0 Kaluch,
Mm-hmm.
minus 66, plus 105, plus 150. Kenny White, in my contribution to Otter Locks was San Francisco minus 3. So I mean, hey, my dad told me when I was very young. So you want to be good? Part of being good, surround yourself with good people.
Yeah, we've done that. I followed you on. I followed everybody last night, so I did go. I went down with on the Niners with you. We didn't have nearly as bad a night as Devondre Campbell did. He pretty much fired himself in the third quarter.
Yeah,
refusing to go into the game.
That's kind of
a 9-year vet.
It's not really up for discussion.
I was surprised he didn't
get a lot of run, huh?
Yeah,
I mean,
when a 9-year vet, and he's been a solid player, but by no means a superstar.
Does that compromise his pension, his retirement in any way?
He's got 9 years in the league.
No,
I wouldn't think.
I mean,
I wouldn't.
You can walk out. I mean,
I'm sure he can be disciplined by the Players Association if they wanted to, but to my knowledge, he doesn't. He's got 9 years in the league, so he's vested. But this is a guy that was brought in to take the place of Dre Greenlaw until, if you were watching the Super Bowl, Greenlaw got hurt, and he was supposed to just basically hold the fort down until Greenlaw got back. And when Greenlaw got back, they took him out of the start lineup, and I guess he didn't like that very much because when they needed him to go in the game last night, he refused, and then he walked off the field in the third quarter. It's not the first time we've seen a player walk off the field, but we say this all the time. Your level of contribution compared to your level of pain in the butt. Okay.
Oh yeah.
When Antonio Brown walked off the field, they had to figure out what to do with him because he was too valuable to cut in Pittsburgh anyway. For a guy like this, you just say, okay, well, you don't want to play. We'll cut you, which I thought would have happened already this morning. To be honest with you, if I was John Lynch, I would have called the league office and woke somebody up and said, as soon as you open for business tomorrow morning, he's cut. But que sera. Knocks the Niners out of the playoffs for all intents and purposes. I think they got less than a 1% chance. Super Bowl to not in the playoffs next year. And, boy, Jimmy, we see this a lot. The loser of the Super Bowl tends to have as big a drop-off as anybody in the league the next year. I mean, I want to say the percentages of the losing team in the Super Bowl not even making the playoffs the next year is over 50%. Over the last,
well, they've been in Super Bowl before. It's just this year. It's
right, but there are other Super Bowl losers. It's like you were right there, and then the next year it doesn't.
But Charlie, they've been a Super Bowl loser, and this didn't happen to them.
Right. So,
okay, they've had a great roster. I mean, they've been they've gone as deep as consistently as minus the Chiefs. So it could have happened before. It didn't for them, but it's happening this year. And I think it might be a culmination of because they are a physical brand of football. And, early it's like, man, you got Bosa, got Greenlaw. And I think the announcers were even saying, hey, man, where had they been the whole time? But they kind of wore down. And it was a field position game, some rain. You're not used to that in California. And, man, I think it was 4 straight 3-and-outs for the Rams to start the game.
Yeah.
And then it was 3-0, and the game swayed on flipping the field. They downed the ball between like the 1 and the 2, and the drive didn't result in any points, but they got it near midfield, maybe just passed, punted, and San Francisco was starting about their 10-yard line. And that was the big momentum shifter because San Francisco had their chances, and then Greenlaw got hurt. He got out. Bosa was going in and out. He was wearing down, and it just shifted. the weather looked like Stafford could handle the ball better than Purdy. Give me the ball, give me the ball, give me the ball. I'm going to drop the touchdown.
Yeah, he would. I think he would have scored. He was, perfectly in stride.
You can't, you can't complain and then drop, a key pass. And that was third down. That set up the field goal with 6-3, and it was pretty much over.
Yeah.
Then Purdy, a bad interception on second down. Their long field goal range, maybe get a little bit closer, but down 3 at that point, he just didn't read the coverage. It was nothing there, and that was it, man. And that was the only time where they put together a couple of plays to kind of drive the ball after the Rams made it to 9-6. So, I mean, Max, where did pay last night? No TDs prop?
140-1.
Really?
Well, Mister, what did your little parlay pay?
Plus 13.55, but all I did was
that
take
ain't
the
40-1, Charlie.
I know.
Max had it.
No, I did not.
Barry had it.
No, all I did was put the hockey picks together last night. Little
not bad.
Plus 13.55.
Not a bad way to fly. I hope you don't. But San Francisco's limping. I mean, and it's caught up with him, like you said, Charlie. They're usually so deep, but it's all of them. I mean,
you can't.
If McCaffrey was still
McCaffrey's missed 10 games. Purdy's missed most of 3. Ayuk's missed 7,
and he started out complaining
as
a malcontent.
Kittle's missed 2. Samuels has missed 1. Warner's missed. Warner went out of the game last night. Bosa's missed 3. That's 6 of your 8 best players have missed, and some of them significant time. I mean, look. I'm as down on the Saints as anybody, but there's only so many injuries you can absorb.
No, that you have to take that next man up when you're running a team, you coaching a team, you're playing on a team. But that only lasts so reality sets in at some point. I mean, whoever's making a run, whoever is exceeding or not, man, it's got a lot to do with injuries and health. In the NFL,
sure,
the rosters are so close that in those one-score games early, kind of those fringe, those 50-50 teams, that kind of keeps them going with a little confidence. It's professional football. The psyche should not be that fragile, but we see it. Those teams that are in the middle, man, they won a couple of games early. Man, they all of a sudden they're on their way to the playoffs. The ones that lose those first 2 50-50 games, it's like they can't recover. Like they're just, it's just too much to overcome.
And sometimes it's a double gut punch. McCaffrey was out. Okay. So they find this kid, Jordan Mason, who's having a really good year. Then he goes out.
Right.
I may be able to absorb one, but if you're asking me to absorb a second one at a key position that, in that
and the kid from
tough.
UCLA is injured too. He was iffy to play last night. So it's and Purdy's not a guy where you have to pass the majority of the times. You're talking about a guy where do you put him when you talk about a big contract?
They've got to make a decision on him, and he's going to know.
So,
what would I like to do if I were San Francisco? I would like to put him on something like a Geno Smith or a Baker Mayfield contract. Not one of the. I'm not going to put him on a Burrow contract or a Herbert contract or a Hurts. It's certainly not a Mahomes. But I can't just sign him to a 1-year deal. A 3-year deal that Geno Smith got and Baker Mayfield got that I want to say was somewhere around 3 years, $100 million, is where I'd be comfortable with him if I were San Francisco. I doubt he would agree to that, but that's what I would try to do. I believe in you a little bit.
Starter. I don't think he's a star.
Yeah,
I think he's.
What would you consider Smith?
I like Purdy better than Geno Smith.
Okay,
he makes some really
compared to Baker Mayfield.
Mayfield's right there to lead the league in interceptions, and he's having a good year by his standards. You say might be a top 10 quarterback, man, but the both of those guys, game-altering interceptions. Geno Smith against the Rams was unbelievable, and he had another one like that too. It might have been the Falcons. Just red zone, early down interceptions. Like, bro, no, you can't do that. Just I think the Giants game as well. When the Giants went to Seattle and beat them this year. and he played a part. So I think I like Purdy a little bit better than those guys.
Then you would say he's probably if they offered him 4 years at 125, 4 years somewhere between 125 and 150, he's a $35 million quarterback.
That's what he's going to get?
I think he's going to ask for more than that. I think
No.
that's
What
for a
is he going
longer
to
term
get,
deal.
Charlie?
I think he's going to end up getting somewhere between 35 and 40 million a year. But I don't think it's going to be longer than 5 years.
Well,
he may get the Derek Carr contract.
That's longer than Geno and Baker.
It is.
And do you? I mean, I voiced my opinion. Do you like him better than Geno and Baker?
In San Francisco, I do. If I'm San Francisco, I'd make that deal. If I'm the Giants, I wouldn't sign him to that deal as a free agent, if that makes any sense. I feel comfortable in the situation that he's in. Derek Carr got 4 years, $40 million apiece. Something like that.
Oh, who are you going to take? Who do you like better between Carr and Purdy?
Carr's got so much more physical ability.
Purdy's not big. He will stick in there and deliver the ball when he's getting hit. The other cat is not.
Carr's got more physical ability, but
he
Purdy's,
sure does. But
Purdy
he's not as good of a quarterback.
I've seen Purdy go to the Super Bowl.
He's not as well.
Again, the situation. If what he's worth to San Francisco and what he would be worth to a quarterback needy team like the Giants or Raiders is two different values, in my opinion. I think he's worth 35 to 40 million in San Francisco because they've won with him. He knows the whole deal. He fits in. Everything works.
Well, they're
when they're
guaranteed
healthy
to have that roster. All the time.
Which is why I don't want to give him a 6 or 7 year deal. I mean, I'm comfortable at 3 or 4. I don't know if he'd agree to that. That's where I'd like to be.
Every quarterback to support him. What is Jalen Hurts if you take him, and put him with somebody? I mean, he's had the luxuries of all time. I mean, but Purdy is you cannot. His supporting cast has been really good.
It's been excellent.
It's really good, and I'm talking about the defense where he doesn't have to. Man, he can punt. It's okay to punt in San Francisco. Man, Joe Burrow can't punt. Cannot punt.
No.
Okay. I mean, so there's some teams like that, but I still think that he's shown us enough early that he's a starter, but he has his limitations. He has a ceiling, but he can easily be consistently a top half starter in the league.
Let me try again. A guy who I think might be available, although I don't know, Sam Darnold.
Well, that coach from Minnesota makes a big difference.
Absolutely, and they've got a first-round pick in McCarthy. What if they say we're not going to sign Darnold to a long-term deal? He's available.
Darnold's got the most yards passing, or is it Burrow? I mean, it's right there.
Burrow's leading the league in passing, but Darnold's there.
Darnold has the highest QBR or passer rating.
Yeah. Hang on, that sounds right. I'll get
one of them. I'm pretty sure. I mean, he's
Darnold's third in passer rating.
Behind who?
Goff and Jackson.
Jared Goff.
And he's a little bit further down in QBR.
Second in touchdowns behind Burrow.
Third.
Lamar and okay, so third passer rating. Third in TD passes. Yardage.
Total yardage.
6.
Mm-hmm.
What's interesting here too is Darnold was the backup to Brock Purdy last year in San Fran. So they saw him in the building and let him leave, let him walk to Minnesota.
Yeah. Do they feel differently a year later? 8.5 yards per completion, too, which is third in the league. Good numbers.
O'Connell's good, man. And it's it helps have Jefferson. But
Jordan Addison ain't bad either. And,
no. But Charlie
and Aaron Jones has had a good year. No, he's got weapons over there too.
But he's also had to make plays in a lot of close games.
He has had a phenomenal year.
And that's something that's not told. But watching, I mean, how many close wins do they have, and how many times did you see? Remember the Bears game when they tie it up in the end? They get the onside kick.
Yeah.
They get it. Okay, the Bears, they didn't run it one time. They didn't run and had the holding penalty starting 1st and 20. They said, it's all on your arm. What do you do? Pop, 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 pop. Right down the field. Set up a short field goal. And and this is the deal about we want to just label these quarterbacks and jump to conclusions and stuff. And everything matters. Supporting cast, coaching. Do you have a defense and a running game where you don't have to overextend like Purdy has had, but also getting the ball out and Darnold's one thing. Darnold has shown that he's a starter in this league. He's a star. He's a top 5 in almost every category.
He is. And so how would he, got to ask, how would he be with the Giants or the Raiders?
Oh, not as good.
Right.
Well,
the coach there makes a difference. I agree with that.
Oh, no. O'Connell is, yeah. Don't forget over here at Ruffino's, we're pushing up past the brick right now. Crab cakes, blue crab, onion Creole seasoning, and sourdough top with the remoulade sauce. Brussels sprouts are our other appetizer feature. I had these the other night. Crispy Brussels sprouts, sweet chili glaze. That makes it taste good, too, with the Korean chili flake. It is really good. Used them as a side with my steak the other night. Entree features the halibut, pan-seared halibut shrimp Creole with an aromatic rice, suggested wine pairing, Frank Family Chardonnay out of Napa. The ribeye feature, I had that, Charlie. 16-ounce, 44 Farms ribeye, peppercorn, cognac cream sauce with the mashed potatoes. Suggested wine pairing is a Turnbull Cabernet from Napa. Dessert feature, the tiramisu, and your beverage feature, the Yule Fashion, the avocado cocktail. In our Ruffino's Old Elk, it's our exclusive hand-picked single-barrel select bourbon. Is available over here as well at Ruffino's.
Lock of the week, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
When it comes to celebrating life, there's no better place than Ruffino's. With locations in Baton Rouge and Lafayette, Ruffino's is a steak, seafood, and Italian-inspired restaurant that focuses on the celebration of life, regardless of the occasion. Whether it's the food they serve or the service they provide, their goal is to ensure a remarkable experience for their guests that is always remembered. To view our menu, visit ruffinosrestaurant.com. Ruffino's, where Louisiana comes to celebrate life.
Hey, Baton Rouge. Remember Red Stick Sports, your hometown favorite since 1981. They've been here through every season, serving our community with pride. Still family owned and operated, they're more than just a store. They're a part of your life. Whether it's football, baseball, or any sport in between, they've got you covered. Any season, for any reason. Red Stick Sports is there for you. Swing by today and keep the spirit alive. Red Stick Sports, where every game begins. 5770 Essen Lane.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds, which could be life-changing. I mean, you could put that money towards that zero-turn lawnmower you've always wanted. And after using its edge-shaping technology to meticulously sculpt the face of the Mona Lisa into your grass, you'll become the undisputed king of Saturday morning lawn care, leaving your neighbor and sworn enemy Gary to question his place in the delicate neighborhood ecosystem. And it's all because you could save money switching at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
Lowe's knows that to win the job, pros need the best prices. That's why only at Lowe's, MVP's Pro Rewards members can get a volume discount on eligible orders as low as $1,500 at the Pro Desk. That means you get the prices you need to start any job, small or large, because Lowe's knows pros. Valid in-store only. More terms and restrictions apply. Visit Lowe's.com/terms or Pro Desk for details.
The Grove Recovery Center asks you to call to let their family help yours. And know this, each of the members of the Grove's admission team are not only in recovery, they've also made that same phone call. So please know that when you reach out to them, there will be no judgment or ridicule, rather sympathy and understanding. After less than 10 minutes, a program of recovery destined for you begins. That phone call is the beginning of a new life. Let someone that's changed theirs help you change yours with the Grove Recovery Center, 310-2600.
Brandon Holly here. Did you know Relief Windows is the window, door, hardy plank, and vinyl siding and interior shutter headquarters of the Gulf South? That's right. For nearly 20 years, we have provided you with a lifetime guarantee. Relief from the heat, cold, storms, and sun. So go where thousands have gone to upgrade the exterior and the interior of their homes. ReliefWindows.com. That's ReliefWindows.com.
It's the Winning Wonderland giveaway, only at Beau Rivage. Now through January 1st, play for your chance to win something on everyone's wish list. $250,000 in prizes, including a 2025 Porsche. Drawings November 30th and January 1st. 2 times drawing entries every Monday through Wednesday. Don't just wish this Christmas, win at the Winning Wonderland $250,000 giveaway, only at Beau Rivage. Color, make, and model may vary. Sam Jim Awards Desk for details. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Do you feel like you get hurt at the most inconvenient times? Brock's After Hours Clinic has you covered for a break, sprain, or strain. Open 7 days a week, nights and weekends. Walk-ins welcome. Learn more, brortho.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Looking for a tax deduction? Think about donating your car, boat, or RV to St. Vincent de Paul. Visit svdpbr.org.
Live at lunch with Odd and Hanny from Rufino's on Highland Road on 1045 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Out to San Diego we go. Got a little bit better weather. But Sarah, what is the weather like in God's country, huh? How you doing, brother?
Good. I'm doing great. I'm actually still in Las Vegas, so my flight goes back to San Diego in a couple of hours. Yeah, we extended the trip. Things were going well last weekend. You know, it gave you guys 4 winners, 1 loser with Tulane, but we used some of those picks in a couple different situations, and things came out pretty good. Last weekend. So we extended the stay for a few days.
You were the star of the show last week, man. You outperformed everybody on our Friday college picks. And yes, Tulane looked like a team from New Orleans that was a little cold. So did UNLV. Looked like a dome team in the cold as well. You seen the brackets. This is a jacked up bracket, man. I mean, you're going to have teams with buys that are underdogs, multiple teams. I mean, no matter who they play, no matter how the cards play, the seeding, they'll get that straight. But now the path, because one doesn't have as easy of a path as maybe a 4, 5, or 6. But you're looking at the prices as well. Do you have anything that you're putting something on?
Well, I have some very good future tickets that are closing to Georgia, Oregon, Boise, and Arizona State. So I'm kind of fortunate that they do have the bye. As you mentioned, very, very frustrating when you see if you have Oregon and you have them from the beginning of the year and you have them locked up in some future parlays and they're the number 1 seed, and it looks like they have the toughest path. You know, they have to play the Tennessee, Ohio State winner. Then they might have to play Texas in the Cotton Bowl. It's just, or in Dallas or wherever they play the game. It's just some logistical detriment to being the number 1 seed. While Penn State, by the looks of it, has to play SMU, and they might have an easier path. But the thing I've heard around town all week, and I have been talking to a lot of people, everyone seems to be just moving Ohio State, Penn State, Texas, and Notre Dame right into the second round. And I can almost guarantee you that's not going to happen. One of these teams is going to go down, maybe 2 of these teams. I haven't been impressed with Ohio State, Penn State, Notre Dame, or Texas all year. I've been on this show. I've gone against them multiple times, and I haven't put $1 on any of those 4 teams. I'm a little upset because of the way the draw has come out, but I'm going to stick with it, see what happens this week, and then maybe come back next week with some semi-hedges against the teams I have, because I have some really strong tickets. If I have Boise at 200-1 from 2 months ago, granted they're probably not going to win it, but I want to be able to monetize that ticket, to my advantage.
I've been critical of Texas' schedule, and it was said it before, and I did get that one right on our podcast back in the summer. Said they're going to be in the SEC championship game, but I don't think they're going to win it. Now, I kind of backed off that stance because Georgia is not, or any of the typical SEC teams are usually stronger than what Georgia brought to the table. But you saw it. But I saw, and even though Georgia is not as good as they've been the last 3 years or so, Texas was outgaining them in the state of Georgia 260-54 at one point. This Texas team, Charlie, do you think this Texas team will benefit now that they got a little bit more battle tested and lost a close game, did not create, enough of a cushion when they should have at 260-54 in the yardage?
I don't know that it's going to help Quinn Ewers make plays. That's to me what is the most alarming thing if I'm Texas.
He's part of the offense that got him to 260.
It is, but how many points? Same thing against Texas A&M. How many points? They scored 17 against A&M. They scored 19 against Georgia. They scored 15 against Georgia the first time. That's 3 games out of 13, where they faced somebody that was at least comparable to them talent-wise, and they don't get to 20 points any of those times.
Yeah, Chrissy, it's just a lot of.
I would agree with Annie right there. All Texas does is they do these out routes with some really quick and the small receivers, and they seem to get those little out routes. But when they get down to the red zone, their red zone offense is atrocious. Texas A&M, they couldn't score in the second half. Last week, they could have put the game away early, and they just let them hang around. And then you could just tell, like, the Texas guys, I don't know what it is. They just don't have that killer instinct to put the game away. I almost felt, even though Texas was kind of dominating that game early, that Georgia was always going to win it. They just found a way. I mean, and to lose to a backup quarterback who hasn't played all year.
Right.
I mean, I'm not sure how that Texas team is supposed to win. And in some markets out here in Vegas, they're the favorite to win the whole thing. They're going to win 4 games. I don't see it.
One thing that we can take away, I think we can all agree, is of the elite teams, and this is the year of the inconsistent quarterbacks. I mean, the talented quarterbacks for really good teams, but inconsistent. With Dylan Gabriel's the most dependable. I mean, who are you going to take? Who are you going to take when you got you got 75 yards to go? I mean, who are you going to take? Will Howard, Ewers, Beck, or take a Dylan Gabriel?
Yeah, I would say the other 3 that you named are more likely to throw an interception than drive you down to win the game. So, I mean, I would say Oregon. I would think if you look back, maybe if we look back 3 weeks from now, we're going to be like, you know what, Oregon was the best team, and they're in the championship game. And I just have a feeling that this Ohio State, I cannot believe that you asked if I played anything. I did play one game. I played Tennessee plus the points, and I played them on the money line, and I put them into a bunch of little small future parlays if they could run the thing. Because I think they have a great defense. I watched that game against Vanderbilt when I had Vanderbilt, and I know Vanderbilt got off to that quick start on the kickoff return and on the fumble. But Tennessee, their defense dominated that game. And if Nico can get a little hot like he did at the beginning of the year, I mean, this team has the weapons to be good. They just, they hit that little lull in the middle of the season where their offense wasn't clicking. But I think this Tennessee team could be a dark horse. And hey, they're an SEC team. Most of these teams aren't, and that still kind of goes a long way.
I reached out to Chris Andrews this week, veteran odds maker out of the South Point, and I asked him for his top 10, power ratings as far as point spread values. Number 1, still Ohio State. Ohio State's going to be favored over Oregon if they beat Tennessee. They're going to be favored over them. Texas is number 2, Oregon 3, Georgia 4, Bama 5. Yeah, boys, the Ole Miss Rebels, number 6, Notre Dame, Penn State, Tennessee, and Miami. You know what happens when you have all the chances in the world, you schedule nobody non-conference, but you wanted social media all the time. Now do you understand what we mean by this runt thing, huh? You've invested with these guys, huh? You see your leader?
Well, hey, listen, I did have a ticket for them. I had the big ticket for them to win it all, but I wasn't a moron. I came back with a no ticket for them not to make the playoff at an earlier, middle of the season, which got me back, a decent amount of money. So it's okay that they didn't make it. But I'll tell you another thing. It's a good thing that they don't decide the national championship on Chris Andrews' power ratings. I'll say that.
I got you. But when these are, the spreads, Lane Kiffin usually has schemed his way and gotten the best out of his roster. He had the roster this week. That still, after going 9-3 with a terrible non-conference schedule, to have a number 6 point spread value in college football. No, he had the horses this year. And that's different from what him, where they just couldn't stop anybody. So he's having to go for it on 4th down every time because they couldn't afford to punt. No, this was by far his best roster.
We watched the game against Kentucky. We know what happened. We know about the extra possessions in the first half. And I still can't believe that what happened that day happened.
And I can't believe Kentucky went 1-7 with that as their one win. Army, Navy, this is kind of a big number for this series. I mean, one team is trending, Army. All right, how much recency bias when they look so good? Army is Buddy Colucci said 8-1 tickets at the Rampart with the local bettors out in Las Vegas. Navy, Horvath is back. He got hurt in the first quarter against Tulane. They got shut out that game. Got shut out in the first half against East Carolina, but he is back and Also, the under, this thing is going under, 16 out of 17 years, and the one 2 years ago took a double overtime to get it over.
Yeah, a lot of guys I talk to like this over, but I'm staying clear from the over/under in this game. It's I don't like betting that short of a under, and who the heck wants to bet over an Army Navy? But I am going to take a stance. I like Navy this week. Army has just faced a gauntlet. They went to the Yankee Stadium to play Notre Dame, where they got their heads handed to them. Then they had a really tough game against UTSA. And then last week in the championship game against Tulane, who might have known their quarterback was going to be leaving in the portal, but still a very emotional victory for Army. I've never seen an Army team celebrate like that outside of an Army-Navy game. They were really loving it up there. And I just feel like they faced 3 tough games in a row, while Navy, off the last 4 weeks, has had 2 byes. And this is the peak of the market for Army. This game about 6 weeks ago was a pick 'em. Now they're laying 6.5 or 7. I'm going to be playing Navy. I'm probably going to be playing Navy in the VEASAN contest tonight. And I just think Bryson Daly, he is a tank. But what's he got left in the tank? He's averaging 30-plus carries a game. And if anyone can stop him, it's Navy's defense with familiarity to the option. I just think this is a great spot. Too many points in this big rivalry game. Give me Navy plus 6.5, or if you can find a 7, even better.
Give me your best NFL pick this weekend.
Oh, the NFL this week. It's like, do I want to go with the Browns plus 4? I mean, they're a 3-win team versus the world beater Kansas City Chiefs, who can't seem to cover a spread. Or do I want to go with Indianapolis, who I'm not impressed with Denver, even though they came off that crazy win against Cleveland. I think it's a little smoke and mirrors in Denver. But I'll go with the first pick I made this week. I got a good number at Circa when it came out, 53.5 over Buffalo and Detroit. I'm not sure where the stops are coming from. Both teams banged up defensively. Neither team can stop the run at the moment. And I feel like even if Detroit gets out to a big lead, Josh Allen is something this year where he's kind of dispossessed. He's just going to keep coming back, whether he gets the job done like he didn't against the Rams or he did against a few other teams. He just has it figured out right now. He's got that offense clicking. So I don't see where the stops are coming from. I like over 53.5, 54. Wherever you can get that.
I know we're past you, but I just have to bring it up, though. Charlie, when Skylar Mays was dropping those 2 free throws for LSU to cover the 2.5 against St. Mary's at T-Mobile 6 years ago, the next day I was sitting next to Chris, and you can hear his accent. He's pulling for his Patriots. He told me that day, 6 years from now, don't be surprised if Belichick takes the Carolina job.
I was just deeply grateful that Skylar Mays made those free throws. How's that?
On? How about that? I mean, what do you think about this?
I know it's very shocking. I mean, but at the same time, I was excited for him. I think I was talking to Matt Humans last night, about how it's just kind of like a big FU to the NFL. It's like, you know what? You guys didn't want me last year. You hired Raheem Morris in Atlanta. How's that working out? You kept Eberflus in Chicago. How's that working out? And I listened to what the heck's his name? Seth Wickersham was saying basically Belichick and his buddies Lombardi and the rest of the crew all looked around. They're like, what opportunity do we want to walk into? None of these opportunities that are going to open up are going to be worth a damn. They got lousy quarterback situations, the father-son owner tandems, just not stuff they want to deal with in his early 70s. Just give me a clean slate. Let me do what I want to do. Live in a beautiful part of the country. We got Chapel Bill, Jimmy.
Chapel Bill. I like
Chapel Bill. Well, the last time they won a conference championship, Lawrence Taylor was there. So that's all you need. Go put you.
How about 134 or 135 years of playing football, zero national championships.
It's not a good job. Good luck to the crew in Chapel Hill. Good luck to you, Chris. Thank you, buddy.
All right, no problem. Talk to you guys soon.
Chad Reynolds, Legacy Title for all of your real estate closings, 296-0060. Full-service title company servicing all of South Louisiana. Fast, friendly, professional services, what you get from their great staff. Ashley Donald, Mariana Haynes, Adrian Galata, Michael Platt. Buying, building, refinancing, nobody choose but you. Choose Chad Reynolds, Legacy Title, 296-0060.
Live at Rufino's, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Thibodeau store for your Christmas shopping. It's so easy at ThibodeauStore.com. We've told you about the power equipment, the chainsaws, the trimmers, the blowers. How about small kitchen appliances, rice cookers, blenders, electric griddles, electric knives, deep fryers, so many different things that you can get. So easy. It's free shipping, and you can get those taken care of, knock them out right there on the website. You go into Thibodeau's store, 900 St. Patrick Highway in Thibodaux, you're going to see some unique Cypress furniture for those hard to buy for people, something that they're not going to get anywhere else. The benches, the gliders, the rockers, the swings, all of them available at the Thibodeau store. Your home improvement experts, let them walk you through any projects so you're not wasting time or money. Their sister property, the Pierre Part store, has been in business for 113 years. So you're getting quality with people that know the job. 900 St. Patrick Highway in Thibodaux for the Thibodeau store. Online shop at ThibodeauStore.com.
Ice skating on the river is back at the Raising Cane's River Center Arena from December 18th through January 2nd. It's an unforgettable skating experience. Whether you're a seasoned pro or lacing up for the first time, there's fun for everyone. Bring your family, friends, and holiday spirit to skate in this winter wonderland. Visit RaisingCanesRiverCenter.com for times, dates, and tickets. Proudly brought to you by Investar Bank, Guarantee Media, and Acadian Ambulance.
Rev Business is here to connect your company beyond your storefront. We're here to power your passion, improve your communication, and link you to your customers with the local support you deserve. Backed by our commitment to 5-star reliability, for a limited time, get internet plus 2 hosted phone lines for only $133 per month. A powerful combination at a great price. Restrictions apply. Visit letsrev.biz. Rev Business.
Total Maintenance for AC and heating, generators, electricity, and plumbing. One of South Louisiana's oldest and largest AC and heating companies since 1980. Service today, every day. Nobody likes to go to sleep hot. With a full staff in both Baton Rouge and New Orleans, Total Maintenance is an authorized dealer for Carrier, American Standard, Daikin, and Rheem AC units, and Generac and Cummings generators. In Baton Rouge, call 480-1000. In New Orleans, 841-3300. Total Maintenance, your authorized AC dealer.
Buying or selling a home doesn't have to be complicated. I'm Antonio, cousin with Service First Real Estate. We're here to guide you every step of the way. Visit 225re.com. Service First Real Estate, the team that values relationships over transactions.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
121-126-74. Offices in Baton Rouge.
ALS is a progressive and neurodegenerative disease, and we need your help to find a cure. The mission of the ALS Association, Louisiana-Mississippi chapter, is to discover treatments and a cure for ALS, and to serve, advocate for, and empower people affected by ALS to live their lives to the fullest. Whether you are newly diagnosed, caregiver, or someone looking to learn more about how to navigate living with ALS, they can help. Visit als.org to learn more. That's als.org.
Live at lunch with Odd and Hanny from Rufino's on Highland Road on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All right, let's go to Troy Macker of Bet Rivers, 125th Army-Navy game, Troy. And, wow, a lot of money and tickets on Army, who is trending, is in better form. But quarterback Horvath, his injury status has meant a big deal to Navy's late season slide as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm super excited for this one. Certainly not the same hype that it might have had a month and a half ago when both teams were trending well towards, being in the mix for that the group of 5 spot in the playoff. But still, probably going to be one of the best games in a while in terms of the quality of these teams put together. It's going to be played right in my backyard, about 25 minutes away. Couldn't snag a ticket, unfortunately. The get-in price is over $500 at this point.
Really?
Yeah, it's wild. But should be an incredible atmosphere. Everyone's obviously been talking about the under. The under is typically the play in the series. I believe the under is, in each of the last 10 games, the total score has been under 39, and 39.5 is the under, which is surprising because, right now 53% of the money's on the under, 60% of the tickets on the over. I figure this would have been a little bit stronger on the under, but, people love playing the overs. Like you mentioned, 97% of the money, 90% of the tickets on Army, 77% of the money, 75% of the tickets on Army to cover. It's right now at 6.5. I think Army wins the game. Probably wouldn't have a play on the spread, but I do like the under as well. It's going to be very cold this weekend in Landover, Maryland. And, not having Horvath, if he's unable to play, is a huge blow. He was dynamic early in the year. But
wait, he's not playing?
Him,
I thought he was playing.
Is he?
Oh, that's what the some other teammates are saying during the interview. He's ready to go. Yeah, he's gone. Yeah, he's playing.
Okay.
Yeah, no, he's
Okay.
ready to go.
Well,
yeah.
If he is in his form as he was in mid-October, I think the game could be really interesting. But I do like Army in this one, even though I myself am a Navy guy. I've played games at the Naval Academy. I used to work at Marine Corps Stadium, so I always lean towards Navy. I think Army is the better team at this point.
No touchdown scored last night. Had roughly 10 to 15 bets at Bet Rivers. The no touchdown. What did it pay out? Plus 14,000, 140 to 1.
Yeah. We had someone wager $25. That was the high wager. Certainly not a lot of money being taken on that, but $25 at that wins you $3,500, which is not too shabby for a Thursday night. Certainly did not expect no touchdown scored until about 6 minutes into the game, and they had a close up, and it was pouring rain. I did not look at the weather. San Francisco's defense does a great job on the wide receivers of the Rams, and the 49ers offense is very limited at this point. But just, for the 10, 12 people who wagered, that is an amazing win. We typically do see a dozen or so bets on no touchdown or a safety scored, some super long odds bet for primetime games because anything could happen and people love a little bit of action. So very happy for those people. That is a killer payout.
Charlie likes to fade the public spread tickets in the NFL. This is right up his alley. Number one spread by tickets and the number of bets. The Bengals at 90% of the tickets. Charlie, the Bengals are playing this weekend.
I'm not betting the Titans. Not with your money. Not while I'm living. Not even when I'm dead.
Charlie respects my handicapping, but he scolds me every weekend when I bet the Tennessee Titans.
And I've been right 11 out of 13.
Yeah, well, all but one, pretty much.
Yeah.
So the Bengals -5 and the Commanders, Troy, 83% of the spread tickets on the banked up sites. No Derek Carr, but the Bengals, Commanders, Vikings, Cardinals, Ravens, all over 75% spread tickets.
Yeah, the Commanders one, I as a fan, I would probably fade, but other than the Cowboys game, they have done exceptionally well against inferior competition. And as a growing team, as a developing team, that's what you want to do. Beat the teams that you're supposed to beat. And, in those games against teams, even at the time, like the Cardinals were not very good. Even the Browns, they're not just beating them, they're dismantling them. And they're going to be playing inside. They're playing against, I believe, Jake Hayner's getting the start. Most of, other than Noah Brown, who was ruled out, their offense is healthy. And when their offense is close to being healthy, that's when they perform the best. So I probably won't have a play on the spread, but I would lean Commanders -7.5 just because other than that aberration of the Cowboys game, they have handled their business against inferior competition. And that's what the Saints are. Bengals Titans, I cannot wager on the Titans game. They are so erratic, even though the Bengals should win by a touchdown. And the trickiest one for me is Ravens -16. I know the Giants stink, but the Ravens have played with their food far too often. With losses at the Browns, certainly that's a divisional game, but blowing that game against the Raiders, I don't think they're going to lose to the Giants. But right now it's -16. That is just so many points for a team that has lacked consistency at the elite level. So I would, either play the Giants +16 or no play on the spread from that one.
All right, Troy. What's it? So, why'd you say you don't like the Washington coming down against the banged up Saints over a touchdown? Huh?
Just because as a fan, it's tough to. I've seen this team, even though they played very well this year, and I've been wildly impressed. They should win this game, but there's just, I'm a pessimistic fan. from, the 24 years of seeing this team lose to any assortment of team, good or bad, elite, dreadful. So I think they're going to win, but 7.5, I'm just still not convinced that they're playing super consistent. But because they're playing inferior competition, I think, the last week or the week before the bye gave great confidence that they're able to adjust Cliff Kingsbury's offense in the second half of the season, which has gotten a lot of criticism. So, I'm still just nervous, very nervous as a fan to watch my team have success, which they have not almost ever had during my life.
College basketball's heating up, and one of my favorite things about the Bet Rivers app is that they allow you to buy it off of a half to a whole point. You got the little sliding scale, kind of the point spread, meter that goes through, and some don't offer it, some charge a premium price, but man, we point spreads at 6 to 8 or less that are on the half point, buying it to the whole point, pitching or catching. It saves you, gives you some free bullets along the way. That's something that just not everybody offers.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's paid dividends for me. I typically will buy a point or so. It's simply because end of game scenarios, these are young college kids. There could be crazy fluctuation, even early in the season where, the last 2 minutes doesn't take an hour like in March. But still, I typically do like to buy a 1.5 just for some coverage. And I've really identified some teams that have been really, really good against the spread. Whether or not I can tell you, like a team like Elon, if they're good, I'm not entirely sure. But I can tell you they're great because they continue to cover. And we know that great teams cover. And another one that no one's talking about is Oregon State. The leftover from the Pac-12 conference, I believe they're still perfect against the spread. And 2 of those games I've backed them against the spread. I've bought a point, and that point has helped me win. So this is one of my favorite times of year because, even in the case of Oregon State, folks still don't have a good read on them as they're playing wildly different types of competition. Over the next 2 or 3 weeks, especially in some of these conferences that have already started league play, you're going to see a tightening up of spreads. You're going to see far more information from the book. So we're nearing the point where you're running out of time to really, catch 3 or 4 points in your favor, where the book still doesn't know what they're doing, on some of those lower levels. I found success with Southeast Louisiana, although they did not cover earlier the week against Louisiana. They have been excellent against the spread and grossly undervalued from a spread standpoint, despite their success against some teams that are, in maybe the tier above them. So we're going to pick up, this weekend with a great game, UConn Gonzaga, but I've really had a lot of fun and a lot of success betting on some of the low majors this year.
All right, Troy, we appreciate it, sir. Good luck to you this weekend. We'll get the recap on Monday with you. Thank you, man. Have a nice weekend.
You do the same. Thanks, guys.
Don't forget our friends at United Community Bank, the local way to bank big, with locations from Baton Rouge to Golden Meadow, including their newest branch at Burbank and Bluebonnet. We've been serving the people of Southern Louisiana for over 50 years. Running a business can be difficult enough without the right relationship with your bank. With United Community Bank's local business bankers, you're not just a number, you're a partner. Heath Meir, Nicole Glover, Prentice Wilkes, Hunter Creed, David Campbell, David Henry, our great team over at United Community Bank wants to wish you Merry Christmas, happy holidays. United Community Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Live at Rufino's, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Enhance your holidays with a great cigar from Don Juan Cigar Company and enjoy the season with a delicious cocktail at Don Juan Cigar Bar. It's the best of both worlds. Start by visiting the best walk-in humidor in Louisiana. Our selection of premium cigars and accessories will blow you away. Then go next door to experience the plush and captivating ambience of our cigar bar. Ask about our private room and holiday specials. Make your holidays amazing with Don Juan Cigar Company and Don Juan Cigar Bar, located in Town Center.
News is happening all day, filling your feed. Go beyond the headlines with in-depth coverage on WBRZ News 2 at 6. Michael Shingleton and Sylvia Weatherspoon deliver the most local news in the capital area, exclusive investigative unit reports, and problem-solving two-on-your-side solutions. Your storm station forecast everywhere, first, and insider coverage of your home teams. See why more people are turning to WBRZ News 2 at 6. Investigative, in-depth.
Now, everybody's been to Louis Cafe by campus. Heck, it's been around since over 80 years now. We're still doing delicious omelets like the Mitchell, cheesy grits, Big Cheesy Lou, and those Louis Original Cajun hash browns. We now offer a pickup window. Just call in your order at 346-8221. Give us 15 or 20 minutes, and we'll have it ready for you. Our hours are now 6:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m., 7 days a week. So next time you visit campus, make it a point to stop by and visit an old friend. Louis Cafe, just outside the north gates of LSU.
Well, why don't you just come right out and say it?
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the Jim's Firearms.net hotline at 499-1045.
Say what?
Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the Jim's Firearms.net hotline. Get the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge mobile app powered by Bayou Ford and tap the microphone icon to send us your thoughts in an audio message. Your message could be played on air. Find our app in the Apple or Google Play Store. For direct links, visit 1045ESPN.com.
Please consider making a donation locally through St. Vincent de Paul that truly helps people in need. If you have a boat, car, motorcycle, RV, clothing, housewares, or furniture you no longer use, please consider donating it to St. Vincent de Paul. This donation could get you a tax deduction. Visit svdpbr.org.
Christmas carols with Jake and James of Trash Rangers. Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had a very shiny nose like our red cans.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
121-1674. Offices in Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch with Otten Hanny from Rufino's on Highland Road on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Couple of notes here as we watch the transfer portal. Some potentially good news for LSU. The on-3 predictors, including our friend Shay Dixon, have put in their predictions that Braylon Moore, starting offensive lineman for Virginia Tech this past season, who graded out, I believe it was at 80%, 6'3", 305 pounds of center. At Virginia Tech last year, is on the way to Baton Rouge, according to our friends at On3. And according to Zach Nagy over at Sports Illustrated, LSU has got a commitment from Oklahoma tight end Bauer Sharp. Sharp played at Southeastern before that. He was Oklahoma's, I believe he was their leading receiver this season. The tight end.
I think he was.
Yeah, they got a ton of wide receivers hurt.
Only 5.
And he was a quarterback prior to playing tight end, which was why they let him throw that pass in the LSU game that was, well, let's just say ill-advised, but that's what they were bringing him in for. So LSU, who earlier this week lost Kamorian Pimpton, has picked up Oklahoma starting tight end Bauer Sharp, according to the folks over at SI. And it looks like a new center coming in from Virginia Tech, who had a very good year last year. This is good news. These are two positions of extreme need. So keep your eyes peeled, because the transfer portal sleeps for no one at this time of year. Hour number 2 coming straight ahead here at Rufino's. Bruce Marshall joining us from Europe when we come back. Live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
The new location of Los Reyes Mexican Grill on Wesley across from Mike Anderson's. Man, the place looks great. Lots of indoor and outdoor seating options with plenty of big TVs to watch all your favorite games. All of the traditional Mexican cuisine with a great happy hour, 2:30 to 6:30, 7 days a week. Plus $5 margaritas all day, all night on Wednesdays. Great spot to bring the baseball team in between games, just 5 minutes north of Traction and 5 minutes south of LSU. Los Reyes Mexican Grill, 1072 West Lee, near Nicholson.
Sparked by imagination, creativity is fueled by the arts. Shell's mission is to make communities where we do business better places to live. By supporting the arts up and down the river, Shell is helping creativity thrive. From the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival to the Arts Council of Greater Baton Rouge and the LaFon Performing Arts Center in St. Charles Parish, Shell is the rhythm of Louisiana.
This season, Chevy brings classic pairings, cookies and milk, mistletoe and kisses, and your holiday plans and a new Chevy. Silverado 1500 gives you power and capability with 430 pound-feet of torque to haul your holiday tree. Equinox EV and the all-new Equinox offer award-winning quality and style to see you through the holiday season. See why Chevy makes everything better and brighter. See your Super Chevy dealers today.
Electric Man of Baton Rouge is here to help with 24/7 residential and commercial electrical services. With years of experience, Electric Man aims to deliver fast and dedicated electrical services without compromising safety, quality, and integrity. Licensed and insured professionals to do the job for you worry-free. Electric Man offers guaranteed appointment times and free estimates, offering veteran and senior discounts also. Find Electric Man at electricmanbatonrouge.com to schedule your guaranteed appointment time. electricmanbatonrouge.com, 225-800-7065.
'Tis the season for holiday giving. This year, give your loved ones a choice with our multi-store gift cards. Stabs in Central. Man, those brisket poppers. Sammy's Grill. Crawfish season is upon us. Little Village, downtown or Airline Highway. Do we even need to talk about the bread? Stabs Prime on Jefferson Highway. Still no cake in that crab cake. One gift card for all these choices. Pick yours up at any of our locations, and above all else, have a Merry Christmas.
Water is water, right? Not when it's Evermore. Smooth tasting Evermore water is Mother Nature's masterpiece. Evermore is natural artesian water. Maybe you want a healthier lifestyle, a high-end athlete who wants better hydration, or a parent who wants something healthier for their kids. You want Evermore. EVAMOR. Evermore. Available at great local retailers.
This is Charles Hanniger for Home Bank. If you're tired of the impersonal, one-size-fits-all style of banking, you deserve a bank that delivers exceptional service and personalized attention to your needs. That's the Home Bank standard. Since 1908, Home Bank has been a trusted financial partner for your businesses and families because they go the extra mile to help you reach your goals. See for yourself why Home Bank is good for business and good for life. Stop by any South Louisiana, Houston, or Natchez area location or find out more at home24bank.com. Yes. Home Bank, member FDIC.
Hey, Hank, you let
Wisconsin
Jimmy know
Butler.
both the numbers for Bruce, and he hasn't answered. I'm still calling, but he hasn't answered.
Okay.
Helps you celebrate every special moment. Don't just give a gift, give a memory. Visit mimosahandcrafted.com or stop by today.
Insurance companies have teams of professionals to fight your claims. If you want to know what your case is really worth, I'm Spencer Callahan. I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7970.
WNXX Jackson, KNXX Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers. LA 21 12681. Offices in Baton Rouge. Live at lunch with Odd and Hanny from Rufino's on Highland Road on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Back here at Rufino's, remember you can always get the show on demand, 1045ESPN.com. New Handycast with a season recap up at YouTube right now with me and Richard Dixon. Get that right now, Handycast, or get the show 1045ESPN.com and the new LouisianaSports.net.
Bruce, do we have you, buddy?
Yes, I'm here. Here I am.
There you are. How's Europe, man? Where you at?
I'm in, I'm in Lugano, Switzerland, visiting the grandkids. But I have to scout out places where I might have to move because I got to leave the country if Ohio State wins the national title. So they're not going to want me there. So I have to look around just in case the Buckeyes will win. I did see a guy wearing a Mississippi State hat here the other day. And
Starkville, Switzerland, it's
a lot of similarities.
Yeah.
Just colder in Switzerland is all.
I don't know how that. I hadn't seen one of those before, but you never know. Stranger things have happened.
My wife ran into an Alabama fan in the Paris airport. She had nasty things to say to her with her LSU shirt, so she said nasty things right back.
Oh boy, yes,
everywhere. SEC's everywhere.
Yes, it is. How about this college basketball schedule we got tomorrow? I mean, some really strong. Starts off at Clemson and Memphis. Goes to Little John to play Clemson on campus. Got a couple of off-campus doubleheaders in Indianapolis. Purdue against A&M. Right now, the early line, Purdue 1.5 over A&M. And then Wisconsin against Butler. Butler catching 3.5 from Wisconsin in that one. In Atlanta, Florida is 7.5 over Arizona State. Auburn, no line yet, over Ohio State. Then you got some good ones. Gonzaga always plays a biggie on this Army-Navy Day. 4.5 over UConn. Bama in Tuscaloosa. Creighton, well, they scheduled. That's a hell of a schedule. And in the Big East. I mean, Creighton, Bama 9.5 over Creighton. Tennessee goes to campus in Champaign to take on Illinois. Marquette and Dayton's very good. Kentucky at Rupp against Louisville. Kansas taking on Final Four participant NC State. They're 13.5-point favorite. Phoenix, how about the Arizona UCLA in Phoenix? Arizona 2.5. I believe that's a conference game. Bedlam, they still play in basketball. Oklahoma 4.5 at Stillwater. So great college basketball schedule tomorrow. Brucey, anything you like?
Well, I'm glad you brought up Florida, Arizona State. That's one I really want to watch here. Florida's been a little better than I thought, and they had that little Todd Golden thing early on. I thought this whole thing was going to go off the rails there in Gainesville, but it hasn't. They've looked really good, but I think ASU, by me, might be the surprise team in the country because nobody really saw this coming. It's been a total refit here by Bobby Hurley. He had to go in the portal, and he found some guys from a lot of mid-majors. Freeman comes from Milwaukee, Mason from Missouri State, Jihad from Ball State. Those guys have all contributed very well, plus a pretty good freshman crop. And the first game they were a lot sluggish against Idaho State in the first game. They have rolled since, but I think they really got our attention by almost beating Gonzaga up in Spokane. And they've looked great since. And they beat St. Mary's. They won that tournament that they were in Thanksgiving week. So this is a good test for Arizona State and another good test for Florida. So I like that one a lot. UCLA, Arizona, yeah, first time it's not a conference game now, but so they're playing it in Phoenix instead of down in the Tucson. UCLA really surprised me. I didn't see that coming against Oregon last week, but I think Mick Cronin has sort of figured some things out. With this team, they're starting to shoot better. Perry's getting in the lineup a little bit more. He could be a real factor for them. And they play good defense like all Cronin's teams do, so I would watch that closely. Arizona's been struggling a bit. The transfer from Oakland has not quite delivered, I think, the way that Tommy Lloyd would have liked. They've taken some losses already, so this is another test for UCLA. If they can win up at Eugene, maybe they can win Phoenix on a semi-neutral against Arizona. One other one tomorrow night. Marquette is playing Dayton tomorrow night. Dayton, we saw them, and we talked about them before with you guys over there in Maui a couple weeks ago. Very, very impressive. And the way they looked in Maui, I think Marquette's going to have its hands full tomorrow. Dayton looks like a team to me we're going to see in March. So this is the best day of the season by far. We're going to see on Saturday.
Dayton, the 2-point loss to North Carolina, a 5-point loss to Iowa State, both those teams in the top 12, and they blasted UConn by 18. That was Dayton in Hawaii.
Alabama hosting Creighton. Of course, you remember back in 2012 March Madness. Remember that game, Brucey?
I think it's starting to muddle in my mind now. Got to remind me. I'm out of the country now.
Anthony Grant had his team winning for most of the game, but a little ugly, and Creighton steals it late, 58-57.
That's right. Well, this is another good one tomorrow. And Creighton, they've had a couple of, Kalkbrenner missed a little bit of action in November. Ashworth missed one of those games in Vegas. So those guys both came back, but now Pop Isaacs is out. And the transfer from Texas Tech, that could be a blow. Though watch Jamea Deal. I think he's going to be able to fill in a lot of what Isaacs was expected to contribute. He had 19, I think, against UNLV last weekend. So this has shortened Greg McDermott's bench a little bit. But I think Creighton might be okay even without Isaacs if Neal can deliver. Having said that, though, I think Alabama does have an extra gear that maybe Creighton doesn't have with Isaacs out. And I'd be a little bit scared to go against Alabama. Sears doesn't have quite the numbers yet that he had last year. But we know, this team, the pieces all look like they're there. And Nate Oates there have been they've had this tough schedule for Alabama as well, and they have taken, they've got, L on their ledger. So they'll be focused. I would probably lay it tomorrow with Alabama in that one. But of those games we talked about, I think Arizona State's the one underdog I would really give a look at tomorrow against the Gators down in Atlanta.
Arizona State's pretty good. Pretty good. They impressed me. What game was that? They played the Grand Canyon. Grand Canyon pretty much, controlled that game. Was, almost gate to wire, winning pretty much the whole time. Grand Canyon got a lot coming back from their team last year. Creighton 3-0 against Alabama. They did play last December, so this is the back end of a home and home. Creighton won 85-82 at home. Right now, I know they beat UConn. Not who did they beat double digits, Charlie, that you called? It was number one.
The Kansas.
Kansas,
yeah.
Yes. And Charlie did a good job. But that's kind of been the outlier this year. Creighton has not been, it just haven't been as impressive, minus that game, as they were a year ago. And, Brucey, the SEC continues to dominate in non-conference play. And once they start conference play, there's no SEC Big 12 challenge in the middle of the conference schedule. So these conference RPIs, these strength of conference metrics, are going to be pretty much decided very shortly. And the SEC is on pace to have the highest strength of highest conference RPI. Big Ten's very good too, though. What is it compared? We were going down memory lane to try and remember. Charlie brought up a Big East year. I brought up an ACC year. What did the strongest conference by conference that you can remember historically?
Good one. And by the way, SEC rolling through the ACC like that, only losing 2 of those games in the challenge there. I mean, that was really impressive. So it always jumps out at me the year the Big East had all those teams in the tournament. These years are jumbling up in my mind right now. It's supposed to have been 9-10 years ago. The Big Ten has done it too, but you've seen some years where there's depth, but this year you've added a couple of more teams here, Texas and Oklahoma, adding to the strength of the SEC. I'm telling you, Texas better be careful here. They've taken some losses already. I'm still not sure Rodney Terry is the guy going forward for them. They kind of sort of, fell into him after the Chris Beard thing fell apart there. I think Texas is a team that might, have some trouble going forward here in the SEC. Fort Moser, though, Oklahoma looks to me like they might do something. They won the tournament down there in the Bahamas. But this is as deep. I mean, now you've got, extra teams in the SEC, and top to bottom, you've seen almost all these teams, even Vanderbilt. Watch what Mark Byington has done there. I mean, this is you talk about reloading on the fly there. These are all transfers he's got in there, pretty much. And Vanderbilt, very impressive in there. They whipped Virginia Tech in that game in the challenge. They lost that one game to Drake in Charleston, and Drake has been very good this year. So even Vanderbilt, with the rebuilt lineup, and Byington knows what he's doing. He did very well at James Madison, and I think he's even got Vandy on track. I don't see a soft touch in the SEC this year. Nothing close to it this season.
Where'd the Drake coach go to? What job is he at now for last year?
He's at West Virginia. DeVries at West Virginia.
Yeah, doing a nice job. Over there as well. And Iowa State. Charlie, is that right? They hadn't played in 10 years, but they played for the 85th time last night?
Yeah, it was. I don't know if it was that they haven't played in 10 years, period, or they haven't played in 10 years in Iowa, the city. But it was a long time between. Sounded like one of those they got crossways about something, and like
really?
Louisville and Kentucky. Remember when they didn't play forever, and the governor eventually stepped in. There's something with this, and I'm not sure what the reasoning was.
Iowa
it's been a while.
State down 8 mid-second last night on the road in Iowa City, comes back to win going away. So impressive win for Iowa State. Bruce, Army Navy tomorrow. This thing is an automatic under just about every year. 2 years ago, it took double overtime to get that 10-7 game with 2.5 minutes to go over the spread of 20, the total of 28.5. But it's been on the under right side for a long time. But you got 2 quarterbacks who could throw the ball this year. Even Keenan Reynolds and Malcolm Perry for Navy weren't the thrower that Horvath is. He's back now after being injured against Tulane in East Carolina. And then the poor man's, Tim Tebow, man, he was impressive last week. And against Tulane, but a lot of the tickets rolling in. Our buddy Colucci said it is all Army, like 8-1 tickets on Army minus 6.5, 38.5.
Well, call me the contrarian here. And yeah, this total is up like 10, 11 points higher than it was last year. I still think it's too high. And I know, Daly and Horvath now back in there can throw a little bit better, but we've seen this before with Army and Navy. It'll still be a lot of running. The clock is going to keep moving. And I think now the commander-in-chief under thing, it's like the two earlier this year involving Air Force went under 47, 10, and 2, I think it is. The last 59 under in commander-in-chief games. Can't overlook that, although these are two of the more potent service academy teams we've seen in a long time. But I still don't know that there's that much difference between these two. And they both kind of got exposed by Notre Dame, and Navy had a couple of slips there in conference play. But when Horvath was right, and when we saw that earlier in the year, the Memphis game in particular, the big play element, he adds a little different twist this year. We talked about Navy bringing Drew Cronick up from Mercer, and he added some wing T into that option at Navy, made all the difference. Great hire by Brian Newberry. I wonder if Cronick will be up for the Frank Broyles Award, because he's been an assistant coach that's made a difference. And you just tell Navy had to be licking his chops last week after watching Army celebrate the way they did. So we're going to get these guys this week. Army's had a lot of big games the last couple weeks. I think Navy might win this game outright. So I wouldn't mind even playing them on the money line here. Definitely about 6.5. I'm going under again, as I always do in these games, until they prove me wrong in a legitimate total. Not like these games in the 20s the last couple of years, but this one's up there near 40, and I think that's too high. 20-17 Navy, my prediction for tomorrow.
I made a mistake. You ever misread something? When I said they haven't played in a long time, it said they haven't not played in a long time. I misread it. I made a mistake. They played every year since 1970. So before that, it was a 35-year gap.
No, I have never. I've never misread anything. How's it feel?
Terrible. I feel very foolish.
Bruce, you've never misread anything in your life. Huh? I mean, going down to double blacks in Switzerland.
Well, 1970 to now. That's maybe at least rectified that.
Give me your best NFL pick on the way out, Brucey.
Denver. They're still not getting enough respect. Now, they're off a bye week. And, as Arizona has suggested to us, sometimes maybe when you're going that well and you go on a bye, maybe that's not the best thing for you. But I think there's something different about Denver. And they're winning games in the manner, it's sort of magic in some of these games. The Cleveland certainly was. The defense coming up with big plays. Bo Nix is getting better every single week. They sort of this is Indianapolis' last chance to get really into the wild card race. So 2 games behind Denver. They lose this one, they're out. Although Denver's tied with Baltimore and the Chargers for the last wild card spot, and they're all in right now. But Bo Nix's improvement has been spectacular. This defense, even though it wasn't great against Cleveland, did make the big plays. There's no way the Colts and Richardson are going to be able to do that. It's a very fair price for Denver. And Denver's been winning games by margins this year. But they're also 9-2 against the spread their last 11. Short price with the Broncos. I'll lay it Sunday in Denver.
Pretty cool to watch how you just as the seasons progress early. No, I'm not going to let Bo Nix. I'm really being very safe. Underneath stuff, sideways stuff. No, but I mean, we're going to make the other team beat you with our good defense. And as the season has gotten deeper and deeper, and letting be more and more aggressive with Nix, it's coaching. It's flat out coaching by Sean Payton in his project quarterback draftee in Bo Nix. All right, Brucey, take care of the grandkids. Don't be old grouchy like Charlie does with his grandkids. All right,
Going to Christmas festival tomorrow.
Have a good time, Brucey. Safe travels. We'll see you. We'll talk to you when you get back, buddy.
Okay, boys. Have a good weekend.
All right. Switzerland.
Never been. Sounds like a good trip.
We've been to Vegas.
Yeah.
Maryland, Virginia, Switzerland.
Well,
the broad scope of live at lunch.
We did go all the way to Ireland once, so that's about as close as we've come.
Yes,
So,
we broadcasted from Dublin, Ireland.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
It was a good day.
They had a good engineering staff, huh?
Boy, they were. Huh?
Yeah, they were. They were good.
Those guys had to engineer broadcasts to something like 33 countries or something like that. Now that's a challenge.
What were the country with this is a Latin American country that those people were going crazy. I mean, it was a heated. It make our heated debates look like child's play.
I do remember that, and I can't remember the country that it was. There were so many different arguments in different languages.
Trinidad, Tobago,
maybe,
or something.
Maybe I don't remember. I remember we were sitting next to the guys from Seattle, and then across from us was Cameroon, but I don't remember.
Brock Ewer was part of that Seattle crew.
Yeah, he's not from Cameroon.
No, he's not Cameroon. No.
That was a great trip. It was a fantastic
trip. Good trip. I love the bracelets. Bracelets were valuable. Just flash your bracelet at any one of the 5 bars and restaurants that we have on the property. And the name of the hotel?
Oh man, you got to give it to me.
It's what I remember when I was lost. It was freezing. I was like, I don't know where I am. I'm kind of lost, but I got to get to my West Bank roots here. Pop, and I remember it. So West, Charlie, was the mnemonic device.
I don't remember it.
The Westbury.
Westbury. I'm gonna write that down.
I'm here to help your memory, Charlie.
I appreciate it, man. I really do.
Don't forget our friends at Total Maintenance. My buddy Lucas Ragusa and the folks at Total Maintenance have been one of South Louisiana's oldest and largest air conditioner and heating companies. Yes, indeed. Founded in 1980, our team of over 50, with 30 working together for a decade or more, offer elite service for AC and heat. Right now, it's a one-time heater check. Normally $179, just $79. But we're also going to get everything cleaned and with your unit so that when it does get warmer, we got to lean on that AC and you forget about this stuff because you're just blowing and going. That'll make it run more efficiently, lower monthly bills, extend the lifetime of your unit. Who doesn't want that? It's just $79. One-time heater check. You got to mention my name, Jimmy Ott. It was normally $179, just $79. You're going to get the AC and heating unit all cleaned up and ready to go for the winter and for the warmer months in the spring and summertime as well. Total Maintenance, 480-1000. 480-1000. Total Maintenance.
Live at Rufino's Live at Lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at Lunch.
Hey, Baton Rouge, remember Red Stick Sports, your hometown favorite since 1981. They've been here through every season, serving our community with pride. Still family owned and operated, they're more than just a store. They're a part of your life. Whether it's football, baseball, or any sport in between, they've got you covered. Any season, for any reason. Red Stick Sports is there for you. Swing by today and keep the spirit alive. Red Stick Sports, where every game begins. 5770 Essen Lane.
Looking for some time away but don't want to go too far? The Cook Hotel at LSU is just what you've been searching for. Book your getaway today and enjoy a peaceful escape overlooking the University Lake in any of their luxurious guest rooms or suites. Their newly renovated bar is back open for service, and they're located near some of the best restaurants in town. Visit thecookhotel.com or call 225-383-2665 to book your stay today.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds, which could be life-changing. I mean, you could put that money towards that zero-turn lawnmower you've always wanted. And after using its edge-shaping technology to meticulously sculpt the face of the Mona Lisa into your grass, you'll become the undisputed king of Saturday morning lawn care, leaving your neighbor and sworn enemy Gary to question his place in the delicate neighborhood ecosystem. And it's all because you could save money switching at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
Lowe's knows that to win the job, pros need the best prices. That's why only at Lowe's, MVP's Pro Rewards members can get a volume discount on eligible orders as low as $1,500 at the Pro Desk. That means you get the prices you need to start any job, small or large, because Lowe's knows pros. Valid in-store only. More terms and restrictions apply. Visit Lowe's.com/terms or Pro Desk for details.
By now, you know that we do our show every other Tuesday at the Crown Town Room at Doe's Eat Place. The Crown Town Room is ideal for larger groups, or if you just want to watch the game on one of our 3 large TVs. The tamales are the most popular appetizer, but don't forget the seared tuna with a sriracha glaze for the perfect blend of sweet and spicy. You can't go wrong also with the flash fried oysters or the shrimp. The porterhouse is the perfect steak to share. Strip on one side, filet on the other, prepared at different temps if you like, bone in to maximize flavor. Doe's Eat Place on Government Street, just off Acadian in the heart of Mid-City.
Hey guys, this is Kellen Martin, branch manager at First South Farm Credit in Zachary. When I talk to people about buying land, I always ask, what are your goals with this property? I want to make sure that we set up a loan that fits you and what you're trying to do with your land. If it's a place to build your dream home out in the country, or if it's a place to raise big deer, those are different goals. You want a land lender who understands that and can give you different options based on your goals. If you're looking to buy land or refinance, call me, Kellen Martin, at First South Farm Credit in Zachary, or find us online at firstsouthland.com.
At Lofton, we're in the business of matching hard workers with some of the most sought-after employers in the Baton Rouge area. To Lofton, you're more than just another employee. We care about your interests, and we can help match you with a company that needs your skills. You can complete an application, schedule an interview, and even browse jobs by simply going to lofton.jobs. That's lofton.jobs. We also offer an unlimited $100 referral bonus. At Lofton, we put people to work. Lofton.jobs.
Winter is coming, Baton Rouge. Stay warm and cozy with a new energy-efficient Rheem HVAC system from Capital City Comfort. This November, take advantage of special financing and expert installation on all new units. Visit CapitalCityComfortBR.com today. Your comfort is our priority.
Christmas carols with Jake and James of Trash Rangers.
Frosty the Trash Man, call Trash Rangers.
Good Lord.
I can't believe y'all made me do this.
Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. 5 brands on one lot. Shop BayouAutomotive.com.
Live at lunch with Otten Hanny from Rufino's on Highland Road on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Also brought to you in part by Louisiana Health and Injury Centers, helping you deal with pain, discomfort, old injuries from car accidents or maybe sports injuries. Let them help you out. Let them ease your pain. If you got back pain, you got neck pain, knee, elbow, whatever it is, if it's keeping you from getting around properly, if it's costing you a good night's sleep, let them do for you what they've done for us in our family. Multiple family members have been get an adjustment to get into a series of exercises and stretches that'll loosen things up, help you to feel a little bit better. Or if you need a dry needle, electric nerve stimulation, cryo or ultrasound therapy, let the professionals at Louisiana Health and Injury Centers reduce your level of pain. Airline Highway, Plank Road, Jefferson Highway near Drusilla, Dr. Michael Goff, Louisiana Health and Injury Centers. Jimmy, I'm going to be out. I'm going to miss football Sunday this week, but fear not. I have picks.
Okay. Oh, yes. Charlie, we need. It was not my strongest day, but a 1-3-1 day, but a profitable day, barely profitable day.
Yeah, I had a rough week last week with the 2 picks. The Cardinals just kind of spit the bit in the fourth quarter last week. Colin Murray threw back-to-back.
No, it was in the second quarter.
It was the second quarter he threw the back-to-back picks?
Yeah, he put him in a hole. I mean, back-to-back picks on back-to-back plays, 14 points in a competitive game. They were fighting uphill ever since. It was it's what you get with Murray, man. He's improved a little bit, but you can't do that.
Yeah, and I went down with the group with the Dolphins. Paul Nolan said something when we were doing that segment, and he says, "Man, I love the Dolphins at 6.5. I don't like them as much at 6." And I thought to myself, well, okay, it's a half a point. And sure enough, they get into overtime where you're not going to kick the extra point, and they win by 6, and they ended up laying 6.5. So. Lost that one too, so rough. Try to bounce back from. Been pretty good on the NFL this year. Try to bounce back here. You gave me a stat 2 weeks ago about the Giants had gone the most games in NFL history not covering
until Sunday.
Yeah. Okay. It was 6 in a row, going to 7 or 7.
It was 7 in a row.
7 in a row. Okay. Giants are a bad team, right? So,
yeah.
Okay. We don't expect them to rebound.
They're on the big screen. I can't recite one play.
It was
Barrage
oh
against the
God, it
Saints.
was an awful game.
Garbage game.
The Kansas City Chiefs are not a bad team. They have failed to cover 7 straight times. They just do. I mean, they're just due. I'm going to take a -4 against Jameis Winston and the Browns. You can't win all of these games and not eventually cover. Okay, well,
4.5 max.
I'm looking at 4.
I think
right
it's
now.
4 right now.
Yeah,
okay.
You sound like my neighbor at the roulette wheel every time.
Yeah,
It's 2.
eventually it'll hit red or black or even or odd or whatever. Look, if it's never happened in NFL history before this, I'm going to take the Chiefs. Just on that stat alone. They're bound to cover one sooner or later. This has not worked for you with the Titans, I understand, nearly as well, but I'm going to take Mahomes and the Chiefs here. Panthers haven't been
Titans covered more recently than
the Chiefs.
Yes, that's all you need to say.
Panthers haven't been a favorite in 2 years, but Bryce Young is playing better. And I'm going to take this line's all the way up to 3. I'm going to lay the 3 against the Dallas Cowboys. They lose by a field goal against the Chiefs, lose by a field goal against the Bucs. Take the lead to the fourth quarter at Philadelphia and lose that game 22-16. Bryce Young's been playing better. They break through here. Panthers finally get a win against the Cowboys. I'm going to lay the 3 with Carolina.
Big defensive loss for Dallas, too. That was their second best player behind Parsons, and he's got a triple ligament repair. He's going to have a hard time getting on the field next season. Yeah, that's really tough.
Carolina hasn't been favored since December 18th of 2022. It's been a while.
Yeah, two years. Two years.
Anybody could tell you that, though. Kansas City and Carolina, Charlie's 2 picks. One team hadn't covered 7 games. One has covered 5 in a row.
Can't blame me for taking a trend, right? I'm with Bruce on the Broncos. They've been playing better and better. I am a little worried about the bye, but I do like them here. The only games that the Colts have won in the last month and a half, a 1-point win against the Jets, a 1-point win against the Patriots. So not overly impressed with
a 4th down conversion to get the touchdown and a 2-point conversion to win it in Foxborough.
Knicks has been playing better. Cortland Sutton in particular has been playing really well. They've developed a chemistry. Sutton's emerged as a true number 1 receiver. I know that the wins that they've got, Raiders, Browns, Falcons, may not be overly impressive as far as the stature of those teams, but they've won comfortably by more than 1 score in all 3 of those games. I take the Broncos at home at Empower.
Minus what?
4 is what I'm looking at. Yeah. 4 for Denver. I take the Steelers plus 5.5.
Using the Queen's numbers?
Yeah, right now.
That's where we'll be Sunday.
Sure.
So,
take the Steelers plus 5.5 against Philadelphia.
How many picks you giving out?
5.
Where you going?
The 5-pack.
It's like Mincy.
The 5-pack.
You're going to
I mean, we didn't play the imaging, but it's a 5-pack.
You're going to a Christmas recital. You're not going to the chair.
Okay.
I mean, Mincy, when you ordered 17 items over here, it's going away. Brother,
we've been doing Football Friday since August, the last week in August. I give 5 picks. I'm going to give 5 picks.
Football Sunday, you don't get 5 picks, but give out 17. Go ahead,
pick
the
5. I'll take the Steelers plus 5.5.
How many teams you had? The 4-teamer last night?
Yeah.
4-teamer?
Right.
So you give out 4?
I'm going
5.
I'm going 5.
Oh, you're going to try and you're trying to upstage Colucci and Kenny White, huh?
Well, what I should have done was thrown Kenny White's women's basketball game in with the 4 hockey games.
Gate to wire.
Yeah,
I was glad.
Easy.
Glad.
It was easy. I don't even know what the odds would have been on that. It was 13-1 with just a 4. Steelers plus the 5.5. That's just a really good team. And
never seen any bickering teams won 9 in a row. It's kind of a bad sign, AJ.
They're like the 78 Yankees, okay? They whined and complained and fought all the way to the World Series title against the Dodgers. Remember, it was a year that Billy Martin benched Reggie Jackson. He just pulled him right out of the outfield in
was
the middle
he hired
of the
and refired during the same season too?
Yes, a couple of times. They take the Chargers -3 against the Bucs. I know that Justin Herbert is a little bit ailing, but I think
he's fine.
The Bucs' 3-game win streak is against the Giants, Panthers, and Raiders. So I'm not going to get too excited there. I'm going to take the Chargers, who have been a pretty good team at home this season, and they are -3.
Jimmy, let me get this right. He likes the 2 teams with a 10-3 against the spread record, Denver and Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
The Chargers are 9-4 against the spread, and the Panthers have won 5 in a row. So you're going off of trends. Except for the Chiefs, they're due.
Yeah.
The other teams, they're going to keep going.
Well, you can't bet the trend in every game, Max. I mean, you got to diversify a little bit.
You know, my favorite though is when they bring up Kansas City can't fail to cover 8 games. It's only one now,
right?
I mean, you don't get no. Yes, they're going to cover one of the next 8, but no, it's
if the coin comes up heads 50 times in a row, what's the odds that it's going to come up heads on the 51st? 50-50.
That's
Still
correct.
50-50. You're not betting,
Charlie.
okay, but
Thank you, Charlie.
At least there's not 2 green zeros.
The coin ain't never seen Patrick Mahomes and Jameis Winston face off, though. I'm taking Mahomes.
Max, you play a little roulette? Have you seen a single zero roulette wheel?
I have not. You know what? In Vegas, I saw 3 zeros, which is just
that's more common now.
I laugh at the people playing there.
Vegas has gotten 6-5 blackjack, 3-4-5 odds in the craps, and now triple zeros.
Yeah.
So there's actually one with 3 zeros.
3 zeros, 3 greens right next to each other. I couldn't believe it.
How greedy do you want to be?
Because they weren't making enough money before.
I
Jimmy.
mean,
come on.
My gosh.
Roulette, not a wheel if you're into mathematics in casino games. Roulette, the hold there, not great.
Worst odds all table games.
5.6%, something like that.
When I have a friend or friends or whoever that aren't real casino gambling trained or inclined, say go play roulette. It's kind of. I mean,
it's self-explanatory.
Just
the odds aren't very good.
I was walking with the equipment Sunday morning. So what? We go on at 10 Sunday at Beau Rivage. Walking by about 9:15. That roulette table right on the corner. Oh man, they go crazy. This dude had, I guess it was a color. It must have been 25-30 on one number, and they put that little thumbtack right on it, boy.
At 34-1.
Thimble or whatever. What do they call that thing? The marker? Doesn't have a
name. Just a
sexy name. I don't know.
I call it the thing that they put on the number I don't have usually.
Well, I didn't sit there. I had to go set up, but they went a small eruption in a lazy Sunday morning.
If you do hit a number, and I'm not going to tell you I've never played roulette before, of course, but if you hit a number, it's quite exciting. I mean, you really got something to cheer for.
You hit a 14 parlay.
That was something to cheer for, especially when it looked like the Vegas Golden Knights were going. I mean, they were down a goal with under 5 minutes to go in the third period. So.
Oh, wait, down how many?
1 goal.
Okay. I knew it was close, and they were down.
They come back and tied it. They were down a goal. They came back and tied it, and they were down another goal. It was late in the game.
Yeah.
Dealer places a marker known as a dolly.
A dolly. Look at that. I learned something today. Avoid the dolly.
Friday the 13th.
Oh, you want
avoid
the
roulette.
No, avoid the table is what I meant.
Oh, I got you. What?
I said Friday the 13th. I'd avoid the roulette wheel at all costs today.
Oh, today's Friday the 13th.
Sure is.
I knew that, and I didn't want to say that out loud. I got a lot of traffic to avoid on the drive this afternoon.
So when Kenny White puts you on a women's basketball game before Friday the 13th, pound it, huh? There's your trend, huh?
No problem.
Bruce Marshall, Friday the 13th picks from the Swiss Alps.
Switzerland, yeah.
Huh?
Colucci, 3-0.
Colucci, yes.
What do you think my picks on Friday the 13th are going to go? You like any of this stuff, or are you just making fun of me? Calling into the show on Sunday.
Dello will be with us in its entirety. His son Vincent's in town for the holidays, so
cool.
We'll have that. Rohan, what's his take on Bill Belichick going to Carolina?
You know what? I'm going to listen to the show just to find out because I'm dying to know. Rose got a little insight there.
What was LT's last year? They won in 1980. You said.
Yeah. It wasn't even LT's last year, but he was on that team. Yeah, 1980 was last time they won the ACC.
I thought they played in a kickoff classic in '81 against Dan Marino.
That sounds right. Yeah.
But he was on the team.
Yeah, he was on the team. He just wasn't a senior the last time that they won it.
Well, I'm sure he played a role.
I want to say their biggest.
They haven't won a conference championship since Lawrence Taylor was there.
Right.
So that's all. Bill Belichick go recruit Lawrence Taylor.
What are these?
And you can contend for a title.
These uber successful coaches. They said they want to go. They want to go where they've never won before, right?
No, I think
some of them do.
I think they just taking the best whole situation. I mean, he's calling the shots with the staff, with the money, with everything else. I mean, they're stepping aside. And, I mean, they're going to block and tackle better. Yeah. But all the other stuff, I mean, we'll see.
Girlfriend get free tuition? Was that in the deal?
I think she does.
Okay.
I think she does. If not, he's got a little coin.
Seems fair.
Yeah, he can pay for it. Then no problem with that. Don't forget our friends at Jolie Pearl and Town Square Pizza. Downtown is decked out, man. It is Christmas decorations on steroids, man. The blast, the Christmas pop-up decorations. A lot of people go downtown just to, man, have a drink, have a couple of oysters, and or just an appetizer. The holiday drink menu, it is good, man. It is festive, to say the least. So you got some friends staying downtown, friends or relatives in for the holiday season, staying downtown or looking for something to do, go downtown. Man, go make Jolie Pearl your spot and go take the pictures. It's decked out. It's worth the trip. I can promise you that. Jolie Pearl and Town Square Pizza right next door to it. Fresh and piping hot. Yes, indeed. Jolie Pearl and Town Square Pizza across from Town Square.
Live at Rufino's. Live at lunch. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Are you ready for some football?
This hour of Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny is brought to you by Dana Brown at the law offices of O.C. Brown, 343-1111 and OCBrown.com. Roto-Rooter for all your plumbing needs, 925-8710. Supreme Rice, grown, milled, processed in Louisiana since 1936. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Lofton Staffing Services, 924-0200 and lofton.jobs. Tex Morris at Edward Jones Investments on Jefferson Highway, 928-8659. Total Maintenance, your one-stop shop for AC, electrical, generators, and plumbing. Service today, every day for Total Maintenance. The LSU Alumni Association and the Cook Hotel and Conference Center. For reservations, thecookhotel.com.
Baton Rouge's best-kept secret won't be a secret much longer. Tallulah Restaurant, inside the Renaissance Hotel. This isn't a hotel restaurant. It's a casual, upscale dining experience, which happens to be inside the Renaissance Hotel. Open daily for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, Tallulah is the perfect spot for that business lunch or that elegant night on the town. For reservations or to view the menu, visit TallulahRestaurant.com. That's TallulahRestaurant.com.
The Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny Restaurant Club. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, downtown facing Town Square. At Jolie Pearl, we're pretty shucking good. Snow Seafood and Steak for over 50 years on Airline, Highway, and Highway 74 in Gonzales. Dozy Place for hand-cut steaks on Government Street and Mid-City. Louis Cafe, a Baton Rouge landmark since 1941. Just outside the north gates of LSU. Finbom, sushi, burrito, poke, ramen at Burbank and Lee. And Phil's Oyster Bar since 1950 on Government Street. And now in the South Downs Shopping Center. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and Citizens Bank and Trust are bringing you the ultimate holiday gift with our Home for the Holiday sweepstakes. Imagine 2025 with your rent or mortgage covered up to $18,000. We're here to make your holidays a whole lot brighter. Just sign up at 1045ESPN.com and you could be living stress-free next year. Home for the Holidays is presented by Citizens Bank and Trust. The winner will be notified on December 20th. Sign up now at 1045ESPN.com.
On campus.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. I'd like to tell you about a service that's very important to my family. It's called Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing service that offers a variety of care in the comfort of your own home. If you have a loved one, like a parent or a child, who needs short-term, long-term, or care just for a few hours a week, the compassionate nurses at Decision Critical are here to help. It's not just healthcare, it's healthcare for your lifestyle. Visit DecisionCriticalBR.com to schedule a discovery call today. In Louisiana, it's not if you're going to need a home standby generator. The question is when. Optimized Generator People are Louisiana's largest and best full-service Generac dealership with 4 locations covering all of South Louisiana from Lake Charles to Slidell. And they only do one thing, home standby Generac generators. Prepare now so you can stop worrying about not having emergency power when you need it. It's optimized. GeneratorPeople.com. GeneratorPeople.com.
This is Charles Henniger for Supreme Rice. We always ask you to support our Louisiana farmers. Well, Supreme Rice has a long history of working with those Louisiana farmers in developing and maintaining sustainable farming practices. And now their Climate Smart program supports farming practices that reduce methane emissions and support water conservation, positively impacting the longevity of rice farming for future generations. So the next time you shop for rice, make it Supreme Rice. For more information and great recipes, go to supremerice.com and look for the Climate Smart logo on Supreme Rice bags coming soon.
Live at lunch with Otten Hanny from Rufino's on Highland Road on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Back here at Rufino's live at lunch. A big day in college basketball tomorrow. So I think you have picks. You have thoughts on some
not me, Charlie.
Yeah.
I'm always void of picks. Let's get to college football. Army, Navy, recency bias. Everybody's Army just picked Tulane apart. I think little greenies were a little chilly up in West Point. Sure, that was weak. But you know what? It was also a false sense of accomplishment when they shut out Navy. Horvath went out with an injury in the first quarter. Well, they showed they couldn't stop Memphis. They couldn't stop Army. The Wave has never recovered. This is a big line for this game. You know, there are rivalry games and then Army-Navy. This line should be closer to about 3. Give me 6.5 in the middies with a healthy Horvath running the offense in that one. Also, another bowl game tomorrow, first bowl game of the season. Thank you, Nugget. Our boots on the ground down in Mobile. Starting quarterback who's been pretty good this year. Lopez, I believe his name, Max.
Gio Lopez.
Gio Lopez. He's in a boot.
Can't play in a boot.
Can't play in a boot, Charlie. There you go. So at -8, give me the Western Michigan Broncos. South Alabama's a good running back who's in the transfer portal, but is going to play kind of the agreed deal between he and Major Applewhite. Could have done whatever he wanted, but he is going to play. He's good, and our buddy Nugget thinks he's an SEC caliber back. But we're taking the Broncos plus the 8 against the backup quarterback against the Jaguars tomorrow. That's at 8 o'clock tomorrow night. College basketball, great schedule. Boy, I know it's different than college football. You don't get banged up in college basketball, but there's no comparison to the non-conference schedule. Let's go to one of those. Tennessee goes to Champaign, Illinois. Tennessee, some people not buying completely. Now, that line was inflated because they've won every game by double digits at the Jimmy V Classic. They failed to cover by a bucket, but Tennessee defense travels, and Rick Barnes' team plays defense. How about Milicic? Boy, he's a nice addition offensively as well. This team can score, kind of like last year's, but you wonder, would they lose a guy like Dalton Knecht? Would they be able to score or be something like their scoring drought teams? Tennessee -3.5 at Champaign. I'll take them there. Dayton Flyers went to Maui. They didn't win a whole lot of games, but they were competitive in all of them. Now they're at home against Marquette. Give me Dayton plus 1.5 home court. That's my favorite bet on the card yesterday. UConn, are they getting better? They are, depending on what line you had. They covered or did not cover in that crazy one where they fouled with 0.7 seconds to go against Baylor. But Gonzaga, you know the rule, Charlie, sometimes to our detriment. Well, we're taking Gonzaga in December. It's the base of their schedule. They're more prepared than UConn. Let's see about them. Back-to-back national champions. And, the nut job, Hurley is having his issues right now. Gonzaga -4.5 in Madison Square Garden. Give me the Zags against UConn in that one. So Tennessee, Dayton, Gonzaga on the hard floor tomorrow. So interesting games. Purdue, A&M. Start off at 10 a.m. Clemson at home in Littlejohn against Memphis. Clemson's at tough. Boy, the battle of tempos there. Memphis wants to get out. That might be a little high. In that one. So these are some of the early lines that we're looking at in college basketball. In Atlanta, Florida, and Auburn. Got to think the Auburn fans. Basketball school now. They'll have a big crowd. Florida, we'll see. Remember, Max, when we were watching Florida against Florida State, they can play. Have they lost yet? I don't think so, huh? Gators, top 6 or 7 on NET right now. Arizona State, Hurley still hanging around. They did have that nice win, a neutral site against Grand Canyon earlier this year. But that I like Auburn maybe to put it all over Ohio State. But line's not out yet. I'm looking at double digits probably.
Florida 9-0, 6-3 against the spread. One thing on your Army-Navy game, we know the trends of the unders, but 8 of the last 10 games in that meeting have been decided by one score or less. So you can, or I guess one score. You can get any less than that. But.
You know, they're so these offenses are so quarterback dependent, and I can't remember. I used to hate this game. With age, I've come to appreciate it a little bit more, and where other people, but some of the years, their quarterback's trying to throw the ball. It was just like, this is just stop. I see why you run the option every time. These quarterbacks can throw. They all you had to see was with 30 seconds to go in Birmingham, they threw a 77-yard touchdown. These two quarterbacks can throw the ball. If this is going to go over, this line is 10.5 points higher, the total, than what it was 2 years ago. Keep in mind, some of those totals would have gone over with these lower numbers, but they were all in the 40s at that time. But Army and Navy, 14-9 to the over this year collectively. Iowa, the other team last year, they were an over team as well. So their points, their total values have been buried so low that they've been over teams this year. So with capable quarterbacks, this might be the over.
And back up on Tennessee for a second. Is this one of the all-time great runs for an athletic program over a year in
baseball
SEC?
championship,
baseball national championship, football
Elite
team in
Eight.
the playoffs, and if you want to go back to last year's basketball, the Elite Eight. This year's football team's in the playoff, and this year's basketball team is currently number 1 in the country. It's a pretty good run. I remember the year 2007, Florida won 2006, Florida won the football and basketball national championships, and I think the baseball team made the World Series that year.
It's pretty good, Charlie.
Yeah.
Not bad at all. So
LSU 1986 College World Series, SEC football champions, Final Four in basketball.
86.
Well,
but they're only 11 seed. Only had an 11 seed season.
and
you had to play the first 2 rounds at home.
Yeah, made it to Dallas. That's all I know.
Yes, indeed. Don't forget our friends at Lofton Staffing Services. Lofton, we match hard workers with the most sought-after employees. To Lofton, you're more than just another employee. We care about your interests. It'll match you with a company that needs your skills. You can complete an application. You can schedule an interview. You can even browse jobs at lofton.jobs. Lofton Staffing Services, we've been putting people to work since 1979. 924-0200 and lofton.jobs.
Live at Rufino's, live at lunch. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge is your new home for the
You were just there, but hang on a second. Not in the middle of the month, huh? Walk-ons and Brewing? Yeah. Got it. Okay. All right. Got it. All right. Whenever you're ready, Jordan.
It's rolling.
This is Charles Hanniger. Join us for the Monday edition of Live at Lunch from Big Mike's in Denham Springs. We'll recap a big weekend in the NFL. Take a look towards. No, that's not good. Here's Charles Hanniger. Join us for the Monday edition of Live at Lunch. We're at Big Mike's Sports Bar and Grill in Denham Springs. We'll recap the weekend in the NFL and college basketball. Look ahead towards the college football playoffs. Big Mike's on Monday at 11 a.m. Live at Lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
By 8 by 10, 8 by 20, or even 8 by 40 feet. Not just one size. These units can be customized for any use. Custom lunchrooms, offices, work sites for plumbers or welders. Dual purpose, part office, part storage. Climate control, shelving, lighting, using different materials, whatever you need. Give my buddy Martine Padial at Workbox a call at 343-4886. 343-4886 and workboxllc.com.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds, which could be life-changing. I mean, you could put that money towards that zero-turn lawnmower you've always wanted. And after using its edge-shaping technology to meticulously sculpt the face of the Mona Lisa into your grass, you'll become the undisputed king of Saturday morning lawn care, leaving your neighbor and sworn enemy Gary to question his place in the delicate neighborhood ecosystem. And it's all because you could save money switching at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
Lowe's knows that to win the job, pros need the best prices. That's why only at Lowe's, MVP's Pro Rewards members can get a volume discount on eligible orders as low as $1,500 at the Pro Desk. That means you get the prices you need to start any job, small or large, because Lowe's knows pros. Valid in-store only. More terms and restrictions apply. Visit Lowe's.com/terms or Pro Desk for details.
Attention, vehicle owners. Before you trade your transportation, let K&M Automotive give your vehicle a new lease on life with a remanufactured product from Jasper Engines and Transmissions. A Jasper remanufactured engine, transmission, or differential will extend your vehicle's life, giving you the extra cash to do the things you really enjoy. And Jasper offers a 3-year, 100,000-mile nationwide parts and labor warranty. K&M Automotive, 636-2875. That's K&M Automotive, Siegen near Perkins.
It's your last chance to lock in 3 months of a Benny's Best Club membership for only $19.99 a month, saving you $39. Plus, receive exclusive club fuel pricing and 25% off oil changes. Benny'sCarWash.com. Benny's, proud partner of LSU Athletics.
Parrish Construction and Roofing. At Parrish, we've got you covered. From the top of your roof, all the way down. Parrish Construction and Roofing. Parrish built. Parrish built. Parrish built. From your hometown. ParrishBuilt.com.
Hey, it's Jake and James here from Trash Rangers of Louisiana.
Wishing you and yours a Merry Christmas.
And a Happy New Year.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
121-126-74. Offices in Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Rufino's on Highland Road on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
You see Rich Rodriguez at his press conference?
I didn't see the press conference. They start right now.
Looks pretty relaxed, huh? Looks pretty comfortable.
He does.
Isn't it?
He looks like a very happy guy.
Well, you think that kind of makes sense. I'll let bygones be bygones or whatever. No, come on. I mean, there's reunitings, and this one makes sense, don't you think?
Yeah. Bill Snyder left Kansas State. Now he didn't go push somewhere else, but when he went back, it was good again.
Well, West Virginia got a little bit better history than Kansas State.
They do. I'm trying to think about coaches that left and went back and were successful both times. When Bobby Petrino went back to Louisville, I don't know if it was successful the second time. I'm trying to think of other ones that left and came back.
Mac Brown, have
Mac Brown. North Carolina, they were okay when Brown came back. They were above 500. They didn't win any monster games, but you're right. No, it's unusual to see a guy go back.
They weren't good when they came back. Sorry.
Yeah, no, they didn't win.
You had a quarterback that didn't even go to a bowl game last year.
They won a bunch of games against the bottom of the league.
Kind of mirrored yours. I'm going to take Navy and the
under.
Oh,
Max the plagiarist. Here we go.
I need to.
Didn't you sign a contract when you Mass Comm School?
Yeah, I did.
You did?
I did. I couldn't. I never broke.
Well, that
it.
applies to your professional career as well,
okay.
sir.
Well, that's clear because I'm like 10 games below 500, so it's pretty clear I'm not plagiarizing. Navy in the under, and I liked your two basketball plays, Tennessee and Dayton.
Tennessee, you don't like them on the road, huh?
I like them as well. They're maybe the best team, maybe better than Auburn.
Number 2 NET behind Auburn in the country.
Thanks to the folks here at Rufino's for being our host every Friday. Queen Football Sunday at 10 a.m. on Sunday, and we're at Big Mike's on Monday.
Jordan.
Everybody have a great weekend. Live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Lunch.
Everybody's favorite, Charlie, your favorite Holy Cross Tiger. You forgot it again.
You already know. Holy Cross, West Bank. We go together. We go together. Oh, y'all have a good one.
Have a good weekend, buddy.
On the celebration of